Chapter 6. When he was far away from the forest, it looked like a dark cloud, but it began to grow rosy as he got closer. All the boughs and birds had begun to bud. By the time he was close to them, they were in full flower, and when he reached the edge of the forest, the branches divided, leaving an open path before him. Along this path the prince rode, and before long he came to the palace. He entered the courtyard and looked around in wonder. The dogs lay sleeping in the sunshine and never woke up when he came near. The horses stood like statues. The carts slept, leaning on their arms. The prince dismounted and went into the palace. He went through one room after another, and no one woke up to stop him. At last he came to the way that led to the tower, and he climbed it, up and up, as the princess had done before him. He reached the tower room, and then he stopped and stood amazed. There on the couch was a young woman more beautiful than he had ever dreamed of. He could scarcely believe that there was such beauty in the world. He looked, and then he bent over and kissed her. At once, at that exact moment, all through the castle were the sounds of everyone waking up. The king and queen, down in the throne room, stared and rubbed their eyes. The guards started from their sleep. The horses stepped. The dogs sprang up barking. The meat in the kitchen began to burn, and the cook scolded the boy. The courtiers smiled and bowed. Up in the tower, the princess opened her eyes, and as soon as she saw the prince, she loved him. He took her hand and raised her from the couch. "Will you be my own dear bride?" he said, and the princess answered yes. And so they were married with a lot of celebration, and the 6 fairies came to the wedding and brought gifts more beautiful than were ever seen before. As for the 7th fairy, she was extremely angry. She burst with anger, and then she died. But the prince and princess lived happily ever after.